Now to Grant with today's weather. Where are you? Silverton.
Team, how are you this morning? Yeah, here it's raining out your way, is it?
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah.
And Noah's coming in.
Gee, sorry to hear that, folks. Yeah, not here. We're in one of Australia's greatest areas. We're out the front of one of Australia's greatest pubs, Silverton. This morning, it is an absolute corker. Let me tell you, what a great location. You want to know where we are? Go as far west in New South Wales as you can, and then you go a little bit further, and then you arrive here, Silverton. 1884, they whacked this ripper up. She's been in a few movies. You know what? There was 3,000 people here then. They had 10 pubs, 3 breweries, and in a month they drank 19 tonne of beer. And that was a lot. And that's why I got punched in the face when I asked for a latte this morning. Let's have a look at the forecast. Not only do they celebrate their love of beer here, but also their love of Mad Max. Mad Max 2 was filmed out right behind us here, and the new one is about to be filmed out here as well. They've taken a short production break. They were filming some of the earlier parts of the stunts, but it's actually too green out this way. They've actually had too much recent grass. They've had to pause filming while it gets a little bit more rustic. See you in half a...
Wow.
Mad Grant is in Mad Max country this morning, and he's hiding behind those doors, I reckon. There he is.
Australia. G'day, Simon. Yeah, come on into a real corker of a hotel. In here, this really does typify the outback and typify that country pub experience, you know. This is the Silverton Hotel, just past Broken Hill, known for being a silver town. And classic stuff wherever you look in here. Look at this. Free beer to all married couples over 90 years of age, accompanied by both grandparents. As if. Classic stuff though. And you know, it's just things hanging everywhere while you're enjoying a chilled one. You can read like wise cracks like men are like public dunnies. The good ones are taken and the rest are full of should move on to this side over here where you know how far west we are? You know how far west we are? We're so far west, we're actually half an hour behind in time on our show. That's how far west we are. But also, this is a pub's made so famous by so many films. For instance, Razorback, like 1983, 84. That was about a beast that could tear a man in half and also destroy a homestead overnight. Well, that starred the Silverton Hotel, which was also then called the Gamala Hotel in that movie. The Crack with Jim Owen. His comedy, they came through here, also starred this particular film, but it was also Mad Max 2 that made this place just so incredibly unique and coolly famous as we have a look at the weather forecast. Just watching Grant Denyer on television. He's actually quite good. Hang on, Grant Denyer. Oh, there's some sort of parallel universe going on here. It's freaking me out. We'll see you in half an hour.
What? All right, let's check in with the weather and go back to Grant, who is in far western New South Wales this morning. Can you hear us okay?
Are you there?
Oh, you're there.
Yeah, we're there.
Hello.
Got you there. Sorry, we've just repositioned you on top of the hill at Silverton just to have a look around at a Mad Max museum that has sprung up here by the most unlikely character you're expecting to find in Silverton. Come on around here. This is Adrian. Adrian is all the way from where in the UK?
From Bradford, which is north of England.
Your love affair of this film was so great that you've moved your entire family from there to here to run the museum in Silverton.
That's right. Yes, my passion goes back nearly 30 years.
What is it about the film itself that you just fell in love with?
Oh, it's a difficult one to answer. I think there's a whole combination of different things, but it was so original. We'd seen nothing like it before, especially from Australia. And I just fell in love with it the first time I saw it nearly 30 years ago, yeah. So that's what brought me here, yes.
They're about to make the new Mad Max. Have you seen any of the cars? Can you give us a bit of an insight as to what we could expect in the new generation?
Right, all I can say is that, yes, I have seen the cars. I'm sworn to secrecy, but all I can tell people is it's going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be fantastic.
So
that's all I can say.
You've had to sign a confidentiality agreement.
I've had to sign something to say that I can't say anything.
Oh, that's so frustrating.
They've been very kind to me to let me have a look at things, so I've had to. That's all I can say. But it will be absolutely amazing.
Because as a boy growing up, my love of cars developed from this outrageous film. Favourite line?
Oh, favourite line for me, probably from the second film, is you can run but you can't hide. And that's by Wes, the character.
Beautiful. Let's have a look at the forecast. Yes, the outfits were something else in that film. It was like another world. What did your family say when you told them that you're going to move them to Silverton?
Well, they've known about my obsession for this film for a very long time, and it was only shortly after I'd seen the film that I met my wife and we started having the family. So they've been brought up with this, you know. And actually, two of the sons are named after people from the film, Grant and Byron as well. So they've had to live with that for a long time. Yes.
And
yeah.
how many times do you reckon you've seen the film?
Oh, I get asked this all the time. I've probably lost count, but it's in excess of 200, I should imagine.
Wow. You'll see in half an hour.
That is definitely a fan, isn't it? All right, thanks very much, Grant. We will see you then.
Yesterday he was at beautiful Mungo National Park. Today Grant is at Silverton.
Living the Mad Max dream, because right beyond here is the Mundi, the open plains where Mad Max 2 was filmed. It was the ones that started the career of our Mel Gibson. 22 he was in Mad Max 1, 24 in Mad Max 2, and there he is looking the pretty picture inside the Mad Max Museum here at Silverton, which is run by a mad Englishman who travelled all the way from the UK, such as his love affair with the movie, to open all of this up and of course have the interceptors lined up as we speak. So much of the film was made up on the fly. That is the classic thing about Mad Max 2. It starred many locals from Broken Hill rather than, you know, a lot of big name actors. In fact, Mel drives a huge truck in the film. They didn't have the time to teach him how to drive the truck, so his personal driver had to do all the driving. And even in the film, you can see while Mel's doing his thing, the guy's head is there changing the gears for him. You know, that's how classic it was. Huge stuff. Adrian, you imported this car from America to the UK and then had to do what to it to turn it into what it is today?
Well, all the modifications to make it look like the Interceptor from the film I had to do over a period of about 18 months. That's import all the parts and put it all together so it looked like this.
So describe your anxiousness or your anxiety awaiting the fourth film.
Oh, well, it's incredible because it's 26 years since the last film and the anticipation of fans all over the world, I mean, it's just incredible. We're just waiting and waiting, you know, and it's killing us really to wait, but, you know, what's a few more years, you know.
Let's have a look at the forecast. These are some of the actual vehicles from the Mad Max 2 film. You know, what I loved about it is stuntmen were real stuntmen back then. They actually were hurt in a lot of them, a lot of the incidences. For instance, the driver that I was talking about before, Mel Gibson's truck driver, who had to change the gears, they asked him, would you mind actually rolling the truck over for us? We just come up with that idea, which he did. Fire it up, big fella. The sound of an Aussie V8, and there's the famous supercharger spinning over at the front. That is movie history. We'll see you in half an hour.
All right, Grant, thank you.
See you soon.
Thank you, Simon. Grant is at Silverstone, and Grant, that museum, has that been there for a while, or has he just set it up since filming started?
That's reasonably new. Yeah.
Right, okay.
No, that's reasonably new. Actually, before filming started, he's just a fan who's come out in the last couple of years, so that is a new attraction. And as you can tell, Silverton's in need of a few attractions. There's not a lot here, which is what makes it so quirky and so beautiful. It's a wonderful part of the world. You know, you basically go as far west of New South Wales as you can and then just go a little further and then you're here. And we're all on camels. Even our sourdough race. Look at that. A team that rides together stays together. And then just a couple of minutes ago, Trent, our cameraman, tells a great story. So the last time he was on a camel, he was 14, and the camel turned around and sprayed projectile vomit all over him. So projectile vomit. What was that like, Trent? Good, was it? Oh, there you go.
Enjoy your breakfast.
So Silverton. Well, that's what we were saying. Yeah, exactly right. 3,000 people at its height. You know, there were 10 pubs, there were 3 breweries, and they drank about 19 tonne of beer a month. You know, tough territory. These camels sort of opened up a lot of this land right throughout here. In fact, pretty much putting the train lines sort of from Adelaide through to Darwin. You know, these guys are responsible for developing so much of Australia. And there's about 900,000 wild camels in the outback of Australia. That's more than anywhere else in the world, including the United Emirates, as we have a look at the weather. It really is such a unique part of the world. You know, the Mundi, which is just over there, or the Mundi is over through there where a lot of Mad Max was filmed, Mad Max 2. So they're really eagerly awaiting Mad Max 4 coming out this way. Charlize Theron, she's going to be in that one, as well as a few other stars. We'll see you in half an hour anyway from Silverton.
All right, Grant, thank you.
We have sent him way out west today for the final time. Here's Grant with the weather.
feel like I'm in a Shannon Knoll film clip at the moment, mate. What about me? Standing out the front of the Silverton Hotel. It is a classic piece of Australiana. Australia, just check out that site. That is one of the most famous pubs this country has to offer. Underneath, look at that vibrant blue sky on top of this red earth. It doesn't get any more Australian. We've got Broken Hill that way and the Monday that way. It's beautiful.
What's the Monday?
Look at the forecast. Yeah, it's just after Sunday, Simon. But that joke was about 3 or 5 seconds ago.
Gee, I was
Let's have a look at
smooth
the
with that,
forecast.
wasn't
Dish. We're like a well-oiled machine.
You can tell he hosts, it's academic.
Yeah.
Gee whiz. You just
Sorry, what
practice
was-
your French cycling names, mate, as we have a look at the forecast.
Okay, thank you. Edvald Boassenhagen.
Some people who are slightly more eloquent than our own team back home in the studio are the lovely faces that have turned out here at Silverton Seas this morning. I might just start with the unofficial sheriff of the town. Why do you love this place so much, self-appointed sheriff?
Well, I guess that words don't really explain it. You've just got to look around here and see for yourself. We've got this beautiful, natural country, and it's just so unique. You know, Silverton here is great. I know for myself personally that I've got my isolation, but when I need anything, Broken Hill's only 25 minutes away.
And that is so true. And when you are the publican of one of the most famous pubs, one of the most iconic pubs in Australia, you've got to be fairly proud.
Oh, very much so. We've just done 12 months here and been coming here for many years, but it's fantastic to be the publican of this lovely, iconic hotel.
Particularly when it's the only pub in town. That is also a benefit. Thanks for coming out this morning, guys. We'll catch you all tomorrow from Broken Hill.
Thanks,
Been
Grant.
gorgeous. Thanks, Grant.